bro, we lost an SKL out there, and um, that's like a big deal, by the way.
Yeah.
Like people will get fired and go to prison, kind of thing.
You go to prison for that.
Yeah, dude, it's like secret information, and like the SKL is the like the remote like loader for the crypto onto the radios.
Mm-hmm.
So like all the crypto keys are on this thing. And so like you have to like pick the crypto key and then you like load it onto the radio. And we didn't lose it. Let me rephrase that. We misplaced it and then found it. But when it was misplaced, all hell broke loose. Like our fucking platoon commander was screaming at us. Fucking people were running around with their heads chopped off. It was a disaster. I think one of our staff sergeants was crying. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, for those that were there that are gonna hear this, they know who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna put his name out there.
No, yeah, of course.
Um, yeah, dude, it was a fucking disaster. And then, oh, dude, oh, this is actually a really funny story. Do you remember? I don't know if you knew him, Zacher, Tanner Zacher.
I'd have to probably put a face to the name, but it
You
sounds
you
familiar.
knew, you knew him. He was one of the he was the vault guy, and like I'm sure you've seen him around. Anyway, it was me, him, and somebody else. We were going back to the CP to like pick something up, some radio shit up or whatever. So we got in the truck. I drove back. Um, fucking ordered a pizza and ate it real quick. Um, and then whatever we did, we had to do, and then we drove back out to the field.
Hmm.
And we were in like a soft top, like the low top soft tops. And I guess the soft top was like broken, so it kind of like caved in a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we get there and like I go through the little checkpoint. I'm like, yo, like let me in, kind of thing. And we get out of the car and Tanner like looks at me and he's like, yo, do you know where my rifle is? And
Yes.
I'm like, what, dude? This is like not even 48 hours after the SKL incident.
Oh,
So
so
like,
this is right after this.
yeah, like this isn't like within. It was I'm telling you that op was a shit show. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, did you leave it at the fucking shop? Like, did you leave it in the motor pool? And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, fucking. And so we're sitting there, and I'm like standing next to the truck, and so it's a low top, so it's like this high next to you when you're like standing next to
Yeah.
it. And he's like, I'm standing by the driver's door, and he's in front of me, standing in the rear driver's side passengers rear driver's side seat,
Hmm.
and we're both looking at each other, and the door's open in between us. And we're like trying to figure out like what the fuck we're gonna do. We're like, dude, we got to get back in this truck without anybody realizing, and drive back to the fucking motor pool like right now. And so right as we go to like get back in the truck to go, Tanner turns around and like looks at the top of the truck where the fucking canopy is like collapsed
Yeah.
and the rifle is just on top.
How?
Dude, he must have put it on there before we left the motor pool. And thank God the canopy was broken, so it like was sunk in.
Dude, oh my God. Man,
And so the rifle was sitting right there. And we
the
both
whole
looked
way
at each other
through.
the whole way. Dude, I was flying down that one road that goes out to the fucking fields,
Yeah.
like main side.
Hmm.
Dude, I was fucking gunning it because one of the staff sergeant that was with us, he's like, dude, we got to get back. We've been gone too long. So I was flying, dude. I was probably going fucking 60 in that thing. And it was like one of those moments where we're like, all right, we're never going to talk about this ever again.
Until
But
now, when you're the star of the show, now it's
yeah, well, we're both out and both of our IRRs up and nothing happened. We figured it out.
thankfully, yes.
Yeah. Would have been totally different if the rifle was lost, but we didn't. That was what was that, 2-6 that lost rifles?
To just recently, or was this like a
Like
while back?
last year or year before. It was after we got out, I think, but they lost 2 rifles, I think.
It might be. I think I remember that story though, but my memory's a little faded on that. Do you
Yeah.
ever do you ever think of the alternate history of just what if, the wind got hold of that thing and just,
Oh,
off the truck
dude.
it went?
Oh, dude.
I don't
There,
want to give you an anxiety attack, but
no. We used to have like. I'm not going to go into details about any of these stories, but we have had some close calls with shit like that.
yeah.
And I don't. Someone up there is watching over us, dude. Just we had some fucking close calls with CCI and all that kind of stuff, but we always figured it out.
hmm
Um,
I honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that staff sergeant were crying again if he heard about that. Be like, you know what? I'll give you that pass. It's,
yeah,
for all that to happen in the span of 3 days.
there was a fucking, the 117 Golfs, the radios.
Yeah.
I think between the rifle and the SKL, a Golf fell out of a high back somewhere out in the fucking forest.
Yeah.
And so we lost that thing too. And so people started freaking out again. Thank God someone went back to where the truck was. It was literally just laying in the dirt in the middle of the fucking woods. And they found it. I was like, holy shit, bro.
hmm
But I hope Lieutenant Colonel Sieverts doesn't listen to this. He's going to be like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell were you guys doing? Don't worry,
I'd
sir.
imagine maybe he would, just because this is like right after his episode, but I don't know. I feel like somebody like him, he'd be like, you know what? I mean, he was enlisted, so I mean, he's been around the block a time or two.
No, I know. He gets it. And so, like, as long as it didn't have to go, he was always about taking care of it on your own level.
Mm,
So we got it taken care of for sure.
yeah.
Um,
We did a lot of things for you, Tom or Colonel Sieverts. We did a
yeah,
lot of things.
we tried our best. He got really mad at me one time.
Oh,
Like
really?
fucking screamed at me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were doing the amphib assault from the ship
hmm
on one of the ship ops, and like we were down in the what was it fucking called?
The well deck, I think
The
is.
well deck. Yeah, and the well deck. And the trucks were down in where the LCACs come in.
Mm.
And so like I'm driving, I was on the forward with Lieutenant Colonel Sieverts. So like I was driving his truck and we were like his comm guys. And
Yeah.
so I'm down in the well deck and I'm like working, I'm like getting all the shit ready for the truck. And he usually sat in the back right. And so I'm like down there and I'm like going through all the shit and I'm moving stuff around. And it's kind of like dark down there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, like in the Humvees, they had like the SL3 kit. It's like a black bag with like the tire iron or something like that and a jack.
Yeah.
And you know how fucking dark Humvees are in general. And so
Yeah.
that on top of the well deck, like you couldn't see the fucking floor because it was so dark.
Yeah.
So like someone had put the SL3 bag in the back seat where he was sitting on the floor. And so he comes down, like I'm pretty like set. Like I got all my comm shit, I got my rifle, I'm fucking cami painted up. Like he wanted us all to paint our faces and yada yada yada. And he goes to get in the truck and he can't get in because the SL3 bag's in his way. And he like looks at me, he's like, "Hey Marine, what the fuck happened to your PCCs and PCIs?" And he fucking starts he's like, "Fucking correct this shit." And I was like, oh my God, Dad is gonna kill me. I was like, I'm so sorry, sir. And I like fucking dude, I grabbed that SL3 bag
Yeah.
and I tossed it in the well deck and I never saw it again. Like that is a moment that I'll never forget. I was like, wow, I pissed the old man off. I'm really sorry. Sir, if you're hearing this, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know if you remember that.
I trust he's forgiving.
Yeah. No, everyone loved him, man. It was